Hey, what's up, guys? This is Lady Sola. I'm here with UPTV Channel 6, and I'm about to interview one of the many program hosts and producers of the station, Mr. Michael Badger. I have representing Newsview. How you doing, Mike? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Enjoying the weather, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Finally getting into the summertime, so it's a good time to be outside and kind of see what's going
on. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about Newsview. Like, when did you start the show, and what gave you the idea to kind of embark on that?
Okay, I started Newsview here at UPTV in 2008 or 2008 that year, and I had been planning to do some sort of television program since 2004. I actually wanted to start doing like a newscast back when I was in the second grade in 1992.
Wow.
But we started Newsview here in 2008.
Okay, wow, very interesting. So you knew from like the second grade that you wanted to do something regarding news production and kind of journalism of that sort.
Sort of.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, that's really fantastic. So, like, what is some of your favorite television newscasts?
Boy.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of television newscasts over the years. When I was little, I would watch like Channel 3 News, WCIA, you know, and they had Ed Kelly and Jerry Slave, and then there was Channel 15, which had Keith Page doing the weather, and even Channel 17, I watched a lot of Gail Simpson in the morning, and I also even watched WFHL had a show that didn't have weather, I don't think, that had sports like once or twice a week, called Newsline. I think Newsline. I think it was WFHL Newsline.
Okay.
And it was hosted by Paul Osborne, who later became the mayor of the city of Decatur.
Oh, wow.
So I go kind of back. When I was little in the 80s, I would watch news. My grandparents watched news on TV, and I sort of got the. Later, when I was in high school, I sort of wanted to watch news more again. So.
Okay. Wow, that's really cool. So, out of all of the news shows you grew up watching, with of course WCIA, WFHL, the ABC affiliate here, and everything, what was like your favorite particular newscast that was actually on television? And you know, why did you like and connect with that one so much?
I would say there were things I liked about all of them, but I would say Channel 3 was really my. Well, to be fair, I liked all of them.
Okay.
I would watch, like I said, Gail Simpson on WAND in the mornings, and Joan London doing Good Morning America. Spencer Christian was doing the weather, and WICD. I would also watch WICS in the early 90s, over the air. That's the Springfield WICD sister station. And for a time, they were owned by a different company than 15, and for a while, they even used some different music for their news than 15. Okay.
Wow. Cool. So you were supporter of all stations. They all kind of had something that stood out to you, and that's the reason why you kind of continue to watch the anchors.
Yeah, I really like local.
Okay.
Now on Newsview, I do local, international, world. Sometimes I do interviews. Today's show, I just got finished doing today. This is May. What is this? May 15th?
16th. May 16th today.
2012, and I just did an interview like this one, only I was the interviewer
Okay.
in that. And I also, these days, I watch like news online some. I watch WCIA's WCIX news at 7 sometimes on the internet at their website. And I also watch WQAD once in a while online. And I've also watched a lot of stations that do live online newscasts these days.
Okay, that's a good thing to mention. Live online newscasts with media kind of taking a major shift from people not really watching television as much or being on the internet for everything. What are some comparisons and differences between a live newscast on television and then a live newscast that is streaming?
Well, one of the differences is most newscasts anymore that are online can't show the local commercials on the internet to a worldwide audience. Most of them don't anymore. Some used to. The reason for that, I think, is legal reasons. And like WQAD Channel 8 in near Iowa and I guess Moline and the Quad Cities in Illinois, they were showing like the news desk even during the breaks. And you could hear and see what the news anchors were doing during the break. But now they show a graphic. You can still hear them, but you can't see them anymore. They show a graphic that says, we're taking a break and we'll be right back or something like that.
Okay. So what motivates you to put your show together?
I'd say the main motivations for NewsView are, one, I've always wanted to do television programs and produce something that people could see me on TV and enjoy and learn something from. And another thing, the other thing is I wanted to do a newscast because in the 1990s, I didn't really like the way newscasts had changed. Or almost most all the media changed in the 1990s. I didn't really like the direction. In the early 90s, I was like, okay, I was watching the local newscasts on the local stations. I was like, well, they're kind of behind the times compared to other markets. I could get other markets when the weather was right, DXing with analog television with an antenna. I could pick up like stations from Indianapolis when the weather was right, St. Louis, Chicago, sometimes Kentucky. And when analog television was gone, I could no longer get, it's harder to pick up a digital signal, at least from my house, than it was analog, and at least when I've tried. And it was a lot easier. I could get Channel 7 in Evansville, Indiana, and they would show the Andy Griffith Show Saturday nights, and then they'd show the local news, their local news. And I could get that really good a lot of weekends until 3ABN, which is a religious network run by the Seventh-day Adventists, took Channel 7 locally. So then I couldn't get the Evansville, Indiana station anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you feel like from the 80s to the 90s, there was this big shift where the style of the newscast kind of changed and everything. And what about
then
the
later,
90s to...
Later to the 2000s, like I said, when digital TV took over, it changed the whole ball game. And with the introduction of things on the internet like YouTube, I didn't even dream of putting NewsView online on the internet when I was taking classes. I took classes for it in East Peoria at Eastside Community Television in East Peoria, Illinois. And I took classes there and I learned tape editing. This was 2004. So things changed like the very next year. It was a completely different ball game, and I couldn't get a show started here until 2008, and it'll be 4 years at Newsview this July.
Wow, congratulations. Congratulations on that. That's a big milestone. What can viewers expect when they watch Newsview? And I'm talking about viewers that have never seen Newsview before, that, you might be able to gain some new audience members. What can somebody that's new to the show expect from the show?
Well, you can expect me, first of all, you can expect like classic news music, me opening the show, rearranging and reading stories of news I find on the internet.
Okay.
And like I put together a weather forecast from between 1 or 2 or 3 sites I find online that I think do a good job of reporting and forecasting our local weather. So I write that down, and we put a graphic up while I'm reading it in the recording, and we edit that together with everything else, and you get sort of a classic-like feel to a newscast, like 70s or 80s news shows, and that's what I'm shooting for. I'm going to try it a little bit different in July, but that's pretty much what they can expect. They can expect classic news music, old-fashioned type graphics, me, and the internet, which is, when you put the internet together with a newscast that is different, that's got elements of a 70s or 80s newscast, I think that's a completely undone before, never tried thing, and I've been doing it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think at least you're keeping alive something that is considered classic with 80s newscasts. It's so much different from what the current newscasts look like. So I think that's really cool that you're bringing it back. And,
one thing, that's the Friday edition. I forgot to mention this.
Okay.
The Monday edition, different again. I use mostly more newer modern music. I have a virtual desk in that, whereas Friday we just use a regular pre-recorded chroma key type thing in Sony Vegas. I'm giving away my secrets here, but this is what we do.
Take notes, people.
We have anybody could do this who has a good budget, even a low budget. You could do this. You could like it's like you've got the internet, you got the Drudge Report, you got all these news sites, you got sites linking to other sites online, and like you have my Facebook page for Newsview. You might want to look that up, Newsview TV, and then I'm on Twitter, and I never dreamed all this internet stuff until I got the show, really. It didn't exist before, most of it, hardly. There was no Twitter when I wanted to start this. There was no YouTube. Right. There was barely, there was no Facebook either. I didn't think of all this that would be happening.
Right, so how do you like all of the additions with the social media and just how convenient online is? Have you found that to be helpful to your idea for Newsview? Have you found that to be beneficial, or have you just kind of found it to be a drag and you're just doing it to keep up with everybody?
Both.
Okay.
Actually, both, because I want my focus to be on TV, really. I'm trying to put a television product together. The television product is what I care about the most. For a while, I tried doing a live newscast on like Livestream or Ustream, and nobody was watching it. It's hard to get an audience back after you've lost them. Because I think people today, I'm sorry to say it, but people today seem to be lazy or annoyed by any type of advertising, even if it's not for a commercial product. Not everybody, but that just seems to be where this newer generation, the younger set, what they're like. So it's made it a challenge for the online parts I've tried to do, but I am gaining more again, but it's just a lot slower than before. A lot of people have left YouTube since they redesigned. So it's just
A little 50-50.
yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
makes it easier to get information quicker with the internet, but other than that, I'd just as soon just do the TV. I was for a while, but I try to do both.
Okay, cool. So who's your favorite anchor, news anchor, and why?
My favorite news anchor. I would say that there, at Channel 3, when I watched Channel 3, there was Ed Kelly. He was one of my favorites. He's now WDWS, I think, still. And since WCIA fired most of the people there in, I think, 2000. And another favorite anchor, I'd say, I liked Mike Walvis. Who recently passed away. I like his son Chris Walvis, who does Fox News Sunday. I'd say I like a lot of. Boy, I had Doug Quick on the program one time on Newsview. I like him. I like him as an anchor and as a weatherman. And we've got a lot of good. I like Dave Benton at Channel 3 now.
Okay.
I liked Rick Shutt okay, but he's no longer at WICD. So there's J.C. Fultz Weather. He has actually made contact with me about maybe doing something for the show at some point. I don't know. He's very busy. He's very popular in the market. It's just a great thing when news people can get together online or anywhere else, and we can watch a good news product.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I totally agree. That's cool that you reach out to them and you kind of have already made some connections.
Yeah.
So ideally, if you were trying to take Newsview to the next level in terms of maybe a bigger market or something, what channel or what market would you want it to be in based on your knowledge of what you've seen?
Well, actually, I'm trying to get on in East Peoria possibly this year or next year or the year after.
Okay.
So, yeah, which I'd still be doing the program for here as far as I know, so don't worry. At least I hope you don't have to worry. It'll still be online. I post up old editions on YouTube at Newslook 1. That's my YouTube channel. So.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds great. So if you can give, the listeners, the watchers at home, all the information on where they can access Newsview, Twitter, as well as the YouTube channels that you have, and also the air times that it airs on the channel.
That's right. Well, on Facebook, it's Newsview TV, I believe, and if you search for Newsview, you keep going down and down, you'll find Newsview. It's blue with the logo in orange, and you click on that. And please like Newsview on Facebook if you're seeing this, and then Twitter, it's Newsview Urbana. At Newsview Urbana is my Twitter handle right now, and on YouTube it's Newslook 1, and on UPTV on this station. It's Friday nights at 9, then again at midnight, Monday nights at 10:30, most Monday nights, and Monday nights always at 1 a.m. And
Okay.
occasionally I run old cartoons instead of news.
Oh, okay.
I've done it. I've made 3 cartoon cabin. I call it cartoon cabin. We run public domain cartoons, or what I believes to be in public domain. Hopefully nothing bad happens with. I think they're all in the public domain. I know that the last ones were the new Three Stooges. So if you like cartoons, I have one of those up on the YouTube channel somewhere at Newslook 1.
Okay, great, great. Well, you know, as the man said, make sure to check out Newsview on Monday nights as well as Friday nights. It was so good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking your time out.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a lot of fun. So make sure to check out Newsview on UPTV Channel 6.
News is the most important thing, though. I want good news, good presentation that's watchable to me. I do not like logo bugs or watermarks or whatever you want to call them. I've done it some on the Monday show just because other people like it, but I don't think I will anymore. I just don't like that. It distracts me. So if there were one thing I could tell the other stations and networks, I just don't like that. Please stop. So I like networks like RFD TV that don't do that. So if you see me watching a rerun of Hee Haw, that's one reason why, because there's no logo bug. I've always liked that show.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's why he sticks with the classic look from the 80s, because of the water bugs and those type of logos. And okay, definitely. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And you guys make sure you go online, subscribe to Newsview 1 as well as follow
Newslook 1.
Newslook 1. Sorry about that.
It's a little confusing. I was going to call the show Newslook, but I call the production a Newslook production. So
okay. I like that. I like that. Newslook production. Okay. All right. Make sure to follow on Twitter as well as like the Facebook page.
That's Newsview Urbana on Twitter.
Okay, Newsview Urbana. So make sure to follow that. All right. Well, we'll be signing off. I'm Lady Sola. This is Michael.
Michael.
Thanks for tuning in.